Now, Frank Sinatra, transcribed as Rocky Fortune. NBC presents Frank Sinatra, starring as that footloose and fancy-free young gentleman, Rocky Fortune.
Hi. I don't know what it is about me and work that keeps the two of us from ever going steady Eddie, but sometimes I just get restless and I quit a job, and then again sometimes I get restless and I take one. This time I took one. Night counterman at an all-night Hamburg diner. The diner was located on the Lower West Side, right between a saloon and a dance hall. Those who liked weak drinks went to the saloon, and those who liked strong women went to the dance joint. Nobody came to the diner. Nobody but Trouble. Trouble was a 9-year-old cowboy with freckles and a shoebox under his arm, and it was around midnight on a miserable night when the door popped open and he popped in. How do you do? What'll it be, partner?
One wimpy, drown it.
How's that?
One wimpy, drown it. A hamburger with ketchup.
Oh, excuse me, kid. I'm still new at this job. I sling the hash, but not the lingo. Okay, one wimpy coming up.
And drown it.
Righto, we'll drown it. What's a kid like you doing out this late on a rainy night?
I'm just coming back from a friend's house.
What was it, an all-night pinochle game? How old are you anyway, son? 8?
I'm 9.
9?
Well, going on 9.
Oh, pardon me. How about a glass of milk while you're waiting?
Okay.
You, got any money?
See this shoebox?
Yep.
You know what's in it?
Shoes?
Money. $50,000.
Yeah? Well, that's a nice, safe place to hide it, kid. Only you go around walking with that much dough in your shoes, and you're going to be 10 feet tall. Hey, here's your hamburger.
Oh, thanks. You forgot to drown it.
What?
Ketchup.
Oh, yeah, the ketchup here. Yeah, slow down. Take it. When did you eat last, anyway?
This morning.
Oh, I guess you'll be wanting another burger, then.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up. Where do you live, kid?
No place?
You, wouldn't be on the lam, would you?
Uh-uh.
Running away from home? I guessed it. Things tough at school? Maybe your mom just doesn't understand you, huh?
I got no mom.
Oh. You got a pop?
Yeah, I got a pop.
What's his name?
None of your business.
Okay. You're a citizen. You don't have to answer. How about another milk? Where you headed?
Boat.
Any, special boat?
One that's going far away.
Your boats cost a lot of money.
I got a whole shoebox full of money.
Oh, sure, I forgot. That's right. You're loaded with loot.
How much do I owe you?
Forget it.
I can pay you.
Now, look, kid, it's a cold, wet night. This is a bad neighborhood. Why don't you go home and run away some other time?
I can't go home.
You just think you can. It don't help to run away, kid. I'm an expert. I've been running all my life.
I can't go home.
I'll call a friend of mine who's a cop, and he'll take
Get
you...
away from that telephone, mister. I got a gun in my pocket, and I'll shoot you.
Oh. I didn't know you were a desperado. Who is it, Billy the Kid or Jesse James?
Just tell me how much, and I'll get out of here.
Hamburger, 2 glasses at 40 cents.
Okay. Here's $1. Keep the change.
Thanks, Well, what do you know?
What's the matter?
Nothing, not a thing, kid. I was just admiring the lifelike engraving here of President Howdy Doody. Yep, the kid had handed me a hunk of Howdy Doody money. But I make like it's the real stuff and ring it up. He starts to climb down off the seat, hanging on to his small shoebox full of Howdy Doody dough like his life depended on it. All of a sudden, he looks awful small and scared. It reminds me of the way I must have looked myself when I took off from the orphan home at the advanced age of 10 years.
Well, I gotta be shoving off. So long.
Thanks for the tip. Oh, kid.
Yeah?
You know, if you got a long boat ride ahead of you, you ought to take some food along. Why don't you wait here a minute? I'll see if we got some donuts back in the kitchen.
Well, okay, but no tricks. I got a gun in my pocket.
Sure, no tricks. I'll be right back. Here, you can listen to the radio while I'm out. operator. Give me the 21st precinct. Uh-huh. Hello, is Detective Sergeant Finger there? Yeah. Hello, Finger, this is Rocky. Rocky Fortune. Listen, I got a scared young kid down here at the Oasis Diner on Fleet Street. Uh-huh, a runaway. Can you send somebody down to pick him up? I can't leave the joint. Yeah, sure, I'll stall him. Thanks, Sergeant. I hang up and go out front again. When I get there, Junior's disappeared. And in this place is a young dame about 22 with a figure like the before and after ads. Only she's after, if you know what I mean. When I get around to it, I see she's got a nice face, too.
Pardon me.
Pardon me?
Well, you haven't done anything.
I'd love to. What'll it be?
Well, I'd like to ask you a question.
I'd like to ask you one, too.
Have you seen a little boy about 9?
That isn't the question I had in mind, but it still goes. Have you seen one, honey?
Please, I'm serious.
So am I. There was a kid here a few minutes ago. Did you see him?
No. Was he a little boy with freckles and reddish hair?
That's the boy. A pocket-sized Arthur Godfrey. You a relative?
I'm his aunt. Please, where did he go?
I told you. He disappeared.
Well, did he say where he was going?
Out of Mongolia, I think. What's the story on him?
Well, he ran away from his boarding school. He stopped at his father's house early this evening to get some things, and then he just disappeared.
How did you track him down here?
Well, I located a taxi driver who dropped him off at the corner. Since this is the only place open at this hour, I thought you might have seen him.
How come his pop didn't notify the cops?
Well, I thought he had.
Uh-uh.
Don't you have some idea which way he went?
Well, you might try the waterfront. He mentioned hopping a boat.
Oh, thank you.
Say, it's no neighborhood for a pretty girl alone.
I can take care of myself, Mr.
Fortune. Call me Rocky.
Mr. Fortune.
If you wait till I close up, I'll...
Good night.
I'll nothing.
Concerning the holdup of the shoe company payroll last night, police still have no clue as to the identity of the 4 men who stole the money. They wore Halloween masks. The smallest seemed to be the leader, and an all-points bulletin has been broadcast by the police in an effort to prevent the men from getting beyond...
I heard.
Step over here.
What is this?
You hide.
Okay.
I'm looking for a kid, 9 years old. Freckles, red hair.
Who isn't?
You want me to hit him, boss? Take it easy, Moose. You seen him?
What if I have?
You'll tell me.
Suppose I don't feel like.
Okay, boss. Okay.
Ooh.
Well?
Okay, he was here and he left.
Did he have anything with him?
Just an old shoebox.
Which way did he go?
How should I know?
Maybe you saw.
I didn't. Now, how about taking your gorilla and getting out of here?
Can I hit him, boss? Take it easy. Did he say anything? Anything happened while he was here?
He said he was running away from home. A dame comes in and she says she's his aunt. I told her I didn't know where he was.
That's all.
That's all.
You sure?
I said that's all.
Moose.
Boss?
Make sure.
Okay.
Oh,
Still sure?
I'm sure.
Well,
I told you.
he's sure. Come on, Moose. Thanks, Punk.
My stomach feels like I've been kicked by an army mule, so I hang on to the counter till the blue wheels stop going around. Then I go behind the counter to clean up for the night. I hear a noise which seems to be coming from inside a big trash can we keep there, and I figure we got mice again, so I open it. And the mice is a small boy with a shoebox and a face full of half-eaten custard pie. Okay, kid, come out of the pail.
Are they gone?
You been in there all that time?
I hid her when I heard someone coming.
Did you hear those 2 hoods?
Uh-huh.
You want to tell me why those roughnecks were after you?
Well, the big one, Moose, he's a hired muscle.
Muscle?
You know, a gunman, a fiddler. The little one, he's Perry Brock.
Brock. Yeah, he's one of the old Murder Consolidated boys, isn't he?
Uh-huh. Now you know why I don't want to go home?
I don't follow, son. What's Perry Brock to you?
My father.
Oh, you got a lot of trouble.
So you see, if you call the cops and they send me home, he'll just beat me up and send me back to the boarding school again.
Yeah, I guess he would.
So I better get going, mister.
Call me Rocky.
My name's Mickey.
Hold it, Mick. Here comes the law.
I'll duck out the back.
You can get back in the garbage can. I'll get rid of him. Well, hiya, Sergeant.
So where's the kid?
The kid? Oh, yeah. Oh, the kid. He took off, vanished.
You don't say.
Just like that. Poof.
You couldn't call up the precinct and say, Sergeant Finger, don't bother walking over here on your tired feet on which you've been standing all day. The kid is gone. You couldn't do that, huh?
Well, I tried to get you, but the line was busy. Here, have a cup of coffee and a hamburger. On the house.
You trying to bribe an officer?
Uh-huh.
Make it a double hamburger with an onion.
2 double hamburgers and a pecan ring later, I get rid of Sergeant Finger of the Mounted and get the kid out of the garbage can. He smells like an old gymnasium, but I can't figure anything else except to take him in a shoebox home with me, which I do. I let him soak for a few hours and put him in my bed while I make like G.I. Joe on the broadloom. About 10 minutes after I fall asleep, Mickey. Hey, Mickey.
Let me alone.
What is it, kid? What's the matter?
Nothing.
Just crying to irrigate the freckles, huh?
Let me alone.
I know how you must feel, Mick.
Nobody knows how I feel.
That's not true, kid. Lots of people get a raw deal from life. You take me. I was an orphan. I didn't even have a father to run away from.
Maybe you're lucky.
You don't get much love from a paid matron who has to divide it up among 150 lonely kids.
Sounds like a boarding school.
Yeah. Sometimes I used to lay in bed wanting to cry so bad I thought I'd bust wide open.
That's how I feel sometimes.
So I ran away, too, just like you. Only it didn't help. I was twice as lonely and there was nobody to cry to. I've been running all my life. Get restless, quit a job. Get restless, take a job. It adds up to a big fat goose egg.
I don't care. I'm going to be tough.
Sure, you live in the jungle, you gotta be tough. But running away, that ain't tough, kid. Why don't you go home to your dad?
I can't.
Why not?
He don't want me. He never wanted me. He never even lived with me and Mom.
Never?
Uh-uh. After Mom died, I lived with my Aunt Annie, Mom's sister. But then she and Dad had a big fight, and he sent me away to boarding school.
You like your aunt?
Yeah, she's okay.
Yeah, that's how she looked to me. Well, suppose we call her.
No, Dad would just come and get me again. He ain't much good, Rocky.
I hate to hear you say that, but I guess maybe you're right, kid. Let's get some sleep and we'll talk about it in the morning. Here, blow. Atta boy. Yeah, pull the cover over you. Good night, kid.
Rocky,
Mm-hmm.
could I stay with you, maybe? We could both be orphans together, huh?
No, I'm afraid not, kid.
I could get a job. I'm strong, honest. And I got plenty of money, enough for both of us. More than $50,000. I wouldn't be much trouble, Rocky, honest.
We'll talk about it in the morning, huh? Let's get some sleep. Good night, Mickey.
Good night, Rocky.
I don't get very much sleep. I'm thinking about this poor kid with his box full of howdy-doody money and what I'm going to do about him. It's early in the morning when I quit trying to sleep and get up to make us some breakfast. I almost fall on my face tripping over the shoebox. My foot goes through the cover and I pick it up to tie it again. 5 seconds later, I'm burning up the telephone switchboard. Operator, give me the 21st precinct. Yeah. Hello. Sergeant Finger still on duty? Uh-huh. Sarge, this is Rocky. Now, listen to me. I got that kid again. He's asleep in my room. Yeah. Not only that, but he's got a shoebox with enough government folding money in it to choke a dinosaur. I'm not dreaming, Sarge. Get over here, will you? 25 Bleakman. Okay.
Okay, put your hands up.
Hey, wait a minute.
This is a real gun, Rocky, and it's loaded, so get 'em up.
Now, be careful with that thing.
You're some pal. All that stuff you told me last night, how you knew what it was like. Now you're calling the cops to send me home.
Mickey, listen to me. It's wrong what you're doing.
You said you gotta be tough. Well, I'm gonna be tough.
I didn't mean tough that way. If you took that money from someplace, give it back. Give it to the cops. And give them that gun before you get hurt.
Not me. I'm gonna be tough.
You're going to wind up like your old man, Mickey. He's tough, too. The wrong kind of tough. Now, come on now. Wait here for this detective friend of mine.
I ain't going to no police station.
Look, in case you don't know it, kid, there's nobody lives it up like a lost kid in a police station. Honest, they put you up on a desk, they buy you ice cream cones, double dips. They read your comic books, take your picture, wearing a copper's hat.
And then my pop comes and takes me home and beats me up. Rocky, I'm getting out.
Okay, Mick. Good luck.
You said when you live in a jungle, you gotta be tough. Well, I'm gonna be tough. I'm gonna be tougher than anybody.
I'm just beginning to wonder if little Mickey Brock hadn't held up a payroll wagon himself when the doorbell rings. It is my good friend Sergeant Finger, right on time.
Okay, Fortune, where is he?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Sarge, it's like this. I found the money inside the shoebox, see, and I turn around and the kid's got a real tough-looking automatic pointed right at my breadbasket.
Now, hold it, and you just let me figure it out real slow-like. The kid ain't here, right?
Right,
And the box with the money in it, that's disappeared too, right?
right.
Now, how about the laughing gas? Is that gone too, or you just have these hallucinations on soda pop?
Now, look, Sarge.
Now, you look, Fortune. This is the second time you got me out on a wild goose chase. You ever read the story of the boy who cried wolf? Well, you're him, see? And the next time you want a cop, don't bother to call. I ain't coming. You understand that, Fortune? Don't call us. We'll call you.
I am still standing there like a boy with egg on his face when the telephone rings. Yeah,
Mr. Fortune,
yeah.
this is Ann Prentice, Mickey's aunt.
Good morning.
I thought perhaps you might have seen Mickey again last night.
How did you get my phone number?
I called the diner. The day cook gave it to me.
Well, as a matter of fact, lady, I did see him. He slept here last night.
What? Oh, where is he now?
Search me. He took off again.
We've got to find him.
Look, he don't want to be found. He wants to be lost.
His father thought he might have come to my place for some reason. He's half frantic.
I'll bet he is.
Since you know what he looks like, could you help me look for him?
This is my day off, lady.
Please, Mr. Fortune.
Yeah. Where do you live?
15 South Place, apartment 5B.
Powder your nose, baby. I'll be right over. I invest 15 cents in the city subway system and then foot my way to South Place. Number 15 is a quiet apartment with a self-service elevator. I lean on the buzzer on 5B. No answer. I try the knob and the door swings open. I walk into a nicely furnished apartment smelling faintly of perfume. I'm about to call for Annie Pie when I hear a faint noise behind me and what feels like the muzzle of an .88 comes crashing down on my skull. Ooh!
On your feet, punk.
Huh?
You heard. Up.
Rocky, are you all right?
Up.
Let him alone.
Shut up.
Ooh-wee. Well, well, if it isn't Dick, the fun-loving rover boy.
Should I hit him, boss?
Restrain yourself, Moose.
You always have your visitors greeted this way, Ann?
They forced their way in a few minutes after I called you.
Yeah, nice fellas.
Flattery will get you no place, Fortune. Where's the boy?
Here we go again.
Ann tells me he stayed at your place last night.
He couldn't get a hotel room. There's a convention in town.
Very amusing. I thought you said you didn't know where he was.
I didn't. I found him in the garbage pail.
Now, boss.
You're a very funny man, Fortune. Moose, take him in the bedroom and work him over.
Gladly. Get going, you.
Oh, and Moose,
Yeah?
don't kill him.
Moose shoves me into the bedroom and closes the window to the fire escape. Then he closes the door. And he closes my left eye. And then he closes my right eye. I managed to get in a couple of wild punches of my own, but this guy's built like a Sherman tank. After a couple of sets, I'm beginning to feel like a lump of fresh dough in a French bakery. Moose measures me for a haymaker. And I do a pirouette, 3 tours jetés, and an arabesque, and then a swan dive for the carpet. I hug the rug for a minute, and I manage to get one eye partly open. I discover I am looking into another eye, and it is not my own. It belongs to a scared, freckled face which looks out at me from under the bed. In his hot little hand, the kid's got a gun which he's pushing at me. I take it and straighten up.
Okay, Melonhead. One more. Hey.
Hey. Get him up and shut up.
Hey, where'd you get the run?
Never mind. Don't make a sound. Back up.
Okay, take it easy with that cannon.
Now turn around. Now call your boss in here.
Look, Fortune,
Call him or I'll ventilate your head bone.
Okay. Hey, boss.
What?
Step in a second, will you?
Okay. Has our friend decided to talk yet?
That's right, Brock. Get him up fast.
I seem to have no choice.
Get over there with Laughing Boy.
Rocky, are you all right?
Just fine, honey, just fine. Get some cord or something. We'll tie these monkeys up.
Yeah.
Just a minute, Ann.
Shut up, Brock.
Oh, no, Fortune.
Boss, he means business.
You're the biggest, dumbest moose in the United States. Maybe in the whole Western Hemisphere. Go get him.
Boss.
Don't move or I'll shoot.
Fortune, you amuse me. You really are a funny man.
What's so funny, boss?
That gun. Look at it, you numbskull. It's a water pistol. A plain, ordinary kid's water pistol. Go get him.
Perry reaches into his pocket for his own artillery, and Moose starts after me. I pull the trigger, and sure enough, a stream of water shoots out. The kid has handed me a water pistol, and I'm too groggy to realize it. By the time the thing really sinks in, Moose has knocked it out of my hand, and Brock's got me covered.
All right, Fortune. We fooled around long enough. I'm going to give you just about 1 second to tell me where the kid is.
Turn blue.
If you don't answer, I pull this trigger. And this is no water pistol.
You're wasting your breath, pal.
Okay, start praying.
Rocky, tell him.
No.
Okay, meathead, you asked for it.
Okay, hold it. Drop the rod.
I saw your ugly puss on a fire escape finger, but for a couple of seconds I thought you were going to let him do it.
I ought to, Fortune.
Do you mind if I ask what brings you?
Some kid walks into the precinct this morning right after I saw you. He drops a shoebox on the sergeant's desk and walks out. Shoebox has got 50 grand in marked money from the payroll robbery. Took us a while to catch up, but we finally trailed the kid here and spotted him on the fire escape. Now, don't tell me he's disappeared again.
Nah, he's just hiding. Get these hoods out of the room and I'll find him.
Okay, you two, move. Would you show me the phone, lady? I gotta call the wagon to haul these punks away.
With pleasure.
Go on. You lead the way, Perry.
Mickey, come on out, son.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Your troubles are all over, kid. Your father's gone and he ain't coming back.
I won't have to go home?
Nope, from now on, this is your home. You're going to stay right here with your Aunt Anne.
You mean I can't live with you?
Look, kid, you don't know what a lucky stiff you are, getting to live with a lovely dish like... with an aunt like her. And don't worry, Bub, I'll be around.
You will?
Sure, every night, twice on Sundays. That is, if you think your aunt wouldn't mind.
Oh, no, she'd like it. And so would Uncle Bill.
Who?
Uncle Bill.
You mean she's married?
Yeah, you heard.
Uh-huh. I heard. Good night.
NBC has presented Frank Sinatra as that footloose and fancy-free young gentleman, Rocky Fortune. Others in tonight's cast included Richard Beals, Vivi Janis, Eddie Fields, Frank Richards, and Barney Phillips. Tonight's script was written by George Lefferts and based on a story by Robert Senadella. Andrew C. Love directed. Eddie King speaking. Now, to tell you about next week's adventure, here's Frank Sinatra as Rocky Fortune.
Next week, I get a job that pays $100 an hour, which is pretty good pay if you live so long. The trouble is, I almost don't. I'll tell you about it next week. See you around, huh?
Frank Sinatra, transcribed as Rocky Fortune. NBC presents Frank Sinatra, starring as that footloose and fancy-free young gentleman, Rocky Fortune.
You know, when it comes to losing jobs, I got about the best batting average in town. Something always happens. Either I strike out on a secretary's curves or else I get put out for dropping a suggestion in a suggestion box, suggesting that the boss drop dead. I start out with the best of intentions, but there's always something wrong with the setup. You take what happened last week. I land myself a job that pays $100 an hour, and at last I think I'm really living. And then I find out when it's time to collect that you're liable not to be living.
One moment, please. What is it?
Miss Chandler,
I'm her secretary. What do you want?
instant messenger service.
We don't want any.
Look, honey, it's 8 a.m. This is my first job. Now, don't give me a hard time.
Now, look, Sonny, I handle all of Miss Chandler's affairs, and we don't want a messenger.
Oh, how would you like to get up?
This boy in the man suit says you called for a messenger.
Yes, I did. For the package.
Well, you're not really going to send it, Laura.
I've got to.
I still think you're making a mistake.
I haven't any choice.
Well, then why not let me deliver it for you?
No, I've thought it over. That neighborhood's dangerous, Eve.
Well, nobody's going to kidnap little Evie, darling.
Who's going to pay the ransom?
Why don't you run along?
Please, Eve, let me handle it.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, honey. It's your own funeral. Only I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
About 800 yards, left-handed.
Leave us alone, Eve, please.
Oh.
Nice kid. Where does she live, in the refrigerator?
You'll have to excuse Eve. She's been with me for years. She's very devoted. Have a seat, Mr.
Fortune. Rocky Fortune.
You don't look like a messenger boy. You're older.
Well, my boss is very inefficient. He always sends a man to do a boy's work.
Will you have a drink? I think I need one.
Well, I don't usually start till 9 a.m.
Excuse me.
Yeah, steady, honey. Here, pull yourself together. You're shaking.
I had a bad night.
Here you are. Charge your batteries.
Thank you. Now, let me see.
Messenger service, remember?
Oh, yes. I left the package in my room. I won't be a moment. Will you wait?
Forever. Laura Chandler is a blonde with a figure like Swedish stemware. Tall and slender and curved in the right places. She walks out and I look around. The place is a plush 2-story studio apartment, and from the drawing equipment, I figure her for one of these high-class fashion designers. I begin to wonder if she'll make it back before the nervous breakdown sets in.
Here's the package.
Where to?
14 Barbary Street,
Oh, that's a pretty rough neighborhood.
room 2B. Here's the key. Go in and leave this package on the table. You'll find another package. Pick it up and bring it to me.
This doesn't sound like fashion proofs.
That's my business.
Pardon me.
And one thing. I don't want you snooping in the packages.
Well, it's been grand meeting you, Miss Chandler.
Where are you going?
I insult very easily.
Just a minute.
Well?
I'm sorry. Please, I'm terribly upset.
Hungover, they call it.
No, I haven't been well. Please forgive me.
Okay, you want a kiss and make up?
It's very important to me that this package be delivered and the other package returned unopened. I'll pay you well.
Well, meaning what?
$100.
What's in this package? A new slim silhouette for the H-bomb?
Nothing like that. Will you take the job?
Yeah, one condition.
What's that?
Advance me 30 cents for a couple of subway tokens.
Here's $10.
Honey, I just want 2 tokens, not a seat on the stock exchange.
Take a cab. Here's the package. Be careful.
Don't worry.
Do a good job, and
Yeah?
I'll be very grateful.
Oh, in that case, lay off the happy juice. I may even ask you out to dinner tonight. I'd rather you were sober.
I'm afraid I'm too expensive, Mr. Fortune.
Rocky. And don't worry about it. I'm rich. If I live to collect. I leave the apartment with the distinct feeling that something peculiar's in the wind, and that it ain't the Fulton Fish Market. I leg it out the lobby past the doorman in full admiral's uniform and flag down a cab.
Whither to?
14 Barbary Street. And pal, don't ever put the flag down before the cab starts next time.
I can see this is going to be a fat tip.
Don't give me a hard time, Max.
Yes, sir. I can remember when the subway was good enough for you guys.
It still is if you like to stop here.
Oh, no offense, Excellency.
You know, if you pipe some of that gas into the tank, you'd be a rich hacky. Don't look around, Junior, but the light is green. Move. I feel refreshed after this little exchange of pleasantries and settle back to untie the wrapping on Laura Chandler's package. Not that I'm the suspicious type, understand, but when somebody offers me $100 to deliver a package, I like to make sure I'm not playing patsy with a pumpkin full of microfilm. And just as I get the wrapping undone, Max tromps the brake pedal. And I find myself up to the knees in nice, crisp $100 certificates.
Hey, mister, you dropped your money.
Why don't you give out safety belts in these things if you're going to stop this way?
What are you, a messenger for the United States Mint?
Just turn around, pal, and keep going. I'll gather up the cabbage.
What do you think this is, an armored truck? Next time you rob a bank, hire a van.
If you really want to know, this is Halloween money. I got it playing trick-or-treat.
Where? The First National Bank?
You're clever.
Yeah, stop soaping me, bud. I know real money when I see it. And I seen it.
Max guns the cab while I collect the spilled lettuce. I figure there must be 4,000 or 5,000, and I've just wrapped it up again when Max goes in another one of his famous quick stops. What now?
Out. Nous sommes arrivés, Lafayette. Which means we're here, 14 and Barbary.
I never thought we'd make it. What's the wrap?
65 cents.
Here's a 10.
Thanks.
Hey.
Huh?
You'll excuse the expression. The change. $9.35.
Yeah. Here.
Here's a buck. Get yourself a B-29.
I already got one.
Barbary Street is a dead end in the worst slum in town. Number 14 is a condemned building. I pick my way past a couple of prostrate bums and a garbage can, and I'm about to walk in when somebody taps me.
Pencil, mister? Help an old blind lady? Pencil?
Yeah, here, Mom. Keep the pencil. I got nobody to write to.
Bless you, son.
On second thought, I'll take it, Mother.
Here, you crumb.
The hallway is decrepit pink plaster that is crumbling crumb by crumb. I let myself into room 2B, which resembles a sanctuary for unemployed mice. There's no package, so I deposit my bundle of government greenery and wait. After a couple of minutes, I hear something coming. It's the old blind lady's stick tapping down the hall. She comes in and goes to the moolah on the table like a St. Bernard goes to a fallen traveler. Pays better than selling pencils, huh, Mom?
Keep your trap shut. The stuff here?
The stuff is there, and it's so green it's mellow. How about the package I was supposed to collect?
In my bag. Here.
Fair exchange. What's in it?
None of your business.
Thanks. Can I help you down the stairs, Mother dear?
I can find my way. Don't try to follow me.
Me follow a lady? Perish the thought. I give her a head start and pick up the package and head for the door. And I am just in time for lowering of the 9 o'clock boom, which descends on the back of my skull as I step into the hallway. Sometime later, I regain consciousness. The first thing I notice is a clammy hand inside my pocket. The second thing I notice is that it ain't mine. I keep my eyes closed and then mousetrap the guy. Okay.
Ow. You're breaking my arm, brother.
I ought to break your... Well, if it ain't Sam Socrates, the philosophical pickpocket. How is the biggest thief in town?
Rocky, my old companion from Gramercy Park. As Schopenhauer said, it's a small world.
Is that what he said? Huh? How are things in the pickpocket union?
Oh, haven't you heard, my boy? I've been elected international representative.
Oh, goody for you. Congratulations.
A hipster like you should know better than to lay in the dust in a creep joint like this. Why, if I hadn't come along, you might have been rolled.
Somebody laid one on my skull bone. Hey, you know the old blind woman?
Rosie?
I think she hit me with a pogo stick.
Rosie's new around here. But I don't think she goes for mugging. It was probably the other one, the blonde.
Blonde?
The one who came out after Rosie.
You don't say. How was she dressed?
Oh, very glad. About $2,000 worth of mink, present market value, figuring a 10% kickback to the fence.
Figures. You notice anything else?
She was carrying a package about this big.
Go on.
I assumed you had been mugged. Naturally, I don't like to interrupt a colleague while she's working, so I waited.
Naturally.
A professional courtesy. I come in to cop a quick snoop, as they say, and find you laying here like a dead lox.
Thanks, Socrates. Here's a fin for your trouble.
Oh, Rocky, I couldn't accept a gratuity from an old pal. The Beggars Guild would have me up on charges.
Sorry, I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, however, if you'll just turn around and permit me to sop it out of your pocket, I think we avoid a jurisdictional dispute.
Have it your way, Sam. Brush the creases out of the cashmere while you're at it. I leave the house and walk about 3 steps when a hand falls on my shoulder like it was Judgment Day. I turn around to look into the bloodshot eyes of my good friend, Sergeant Hamilton J. Finger of Homicide.
Huh?
I'm halted. Unclasped, Finger. You're bruising the bottom.
This the guy? That's him. He had a roll like he was Bubba Rockefeller.
What's the problem, Finger?
The high cure says you were flashing a lot of letters.
He's dreaming. He smokes old socks.
I tell you, I seen it.
What about it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He knows all right.
Let's have a quick frisk. Huh? Well, it's clean.
Then he hit it. You better take him in, Sarge.
Oh, back off. Just a minute. What's the charge? Remember, Sarge, you gotta have a charge, Sarge, to arrest a taxpayer.
You got a charge to bring?
He was carrying like $5,000 in real money. That's a crime, ain't it? He's a suspicious character.
You got a charge or just suspicious?
I ain't got a charge. You got a charge, Max?
Me? I ain't got no charge. I just told you what I saw, that's all.
If you two gentlemen will excuse me, I'll be on my way.
Just a minute.
Yes, Sergeant.
Nothing. Beat it.
I walk away like I own City Hall, but inside I'm still 6 different shades of green. I make it to the subway and jockey my way to Laura Chandler's apartment. My head feels like the inside of Yogi Berra's mitt after a hot day in the bullpen.
Oh, it's you.
It's me. It is also I. You got any of that 100-proof battery acid left?
There's some bourbon on the table.
Thanks.
Did you get the package?
Well, it's a long story, but I'll boil it down. No.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
well, it doesn't really matter.
No? You were pretty upset this morning. Did you see a psychiatrist or something?
I decided to calm down.
Uh-huh.
If you don't mind, Mr. Fortune, I'll pay you the $100 and get it over with.
I don't mind, only I don't get it.
Don't get what?
Why a dame pays $5,000 for a package she doesn't get and then brushes it off like it was dead flies?
I see you opened my package.
Uh-huh.
That isn't polite.
It isn't polite to hire a guy to get a package and then hit him over the head and steal the package.
I don't know what you mean.
You know what I mean, baby. You followed me down there and pulled me in the noggin.
You're insane.
You left your mink coat on the table over there. And one'll get your tent is covered with pink plaster from 14 Barbary Street.
Here's your money. Now get out.
Uh-uh.
I said get out.
Let's have the package.
That package is none of your business.
I got a lump in my head that says it is.
Get back. I've got a gun.
I can see that. And I can also see that you don't know how to use it.
I warn you.
It's a funny thing about those automatics. You can't pull the trigger with the safety catch on. Now, let's have it. Now, come on, give me the...
Go.
There. Now, sit down.
Take your hands off me.
I said sit down. That's better. Now, fess up.
Well, I went to a party last night at my editor's. I met a couple. A young man, he said he was an artist, and a woman, a redhead. We'd been drinking.
I gathered as much.
He invited us up to his apartment to see his work.
Oh, brother. Where was the apartment? On Barbary Street?
Yeah. Somehow I got in a quarrel with the other woman. I don't even remember what it was about.
So?
I said I was leaving. He said have one more drink first, and then he'd call a cab. I took the drink, and then suddenly I felt funny. After that, it's all so horrible.
Give, baby.
I don't know what happened, really. I came to sitting on the sofa. The red-haired woman was lying on the floor. There was blood. In my hands, I had a gun.
Whose gun?
Mine.
Naturally, no nice girl is ever without one.
Well, there have been so many muggings and robberies in the neighborhood lately. My secretary thought I'd better carry one in my purse.
Well, back to Barbary Street. What happened next?
He told me I'd gotten very drunk, and we'd quarreled. He said she'd slapped me, and I'd taken this gun out of my purse. And it seemed to go off before I realized what I was doing. I'm not a murderer. I've never hurt anyone in my life.
All right. Take it easy, baby. Now, look, what's with the packages?
The man, Charles, his name was. He told me to go home, that he could have the whole thing hushed up. He said the woman was a tramp, and... Well, I was too frightened to argue. I went home. And about 5 this morning, he called. He said he'd need money, $5,000. He said he had the gun with my fingerprints on it, and if I wanted it, I'd better pay up or he'd go to the police.
And you fell for it. Oh, baby, how square can you
Well,
get?
I don't know why I did it. I suppose the police is the only way.
Just a minute. One more item. How come you conked me?
Well, after you left, I began to wonder if I could trust you, so I followed you down there. I overheard your talk with the blind woman, and I knew you'd opened the package. I waited, and then I hit you and took the package with the gun.
Is this the gun?
Yes, that's my gun. What are you doing?
Just want to look inside. Uh-huh.
I think we'd better call the police. I'll feel better when...
Relax, baby. Nobody's calling the police.
But the murder...
There was no murder.
What?
Look at the barrel of this gun. It's loaded with rust. I haven't a bullet through here since Grant took Richmond.
But I heard...
You heard a blank. And, honey, I got news for you.
News?
When P.T. Barnum said there was one born every minute, he meant you.
I don't understand.
It's the old Badger game in reverse. The whole thing was staged. The artist was phony, the corpse was phony, the bullet was a blank, and the blood was ketchup.
You're sure?
Make bets on it.
Rocky, I don't know how to thank you.
I got a suggestion.
Yes? What?
Don't hurry me now. Just give me time to pucker up. I exit later feeling like a Beaver Scout with a year's backlog of good deeds. I can still taste Laura Chandler's lipstick, and I got $100 burning a hole in my jeans. I got back to the messenger service and put in a phone call to the precinct station. I figure if the crooks aren't in Argentina by this time, my friend Sergeant Finger can start trying to recover the 5 Gs. Finger ain't in, so I finish out the day, then hit my flat for a change of drapery. There is a reception committee from the city of New York, and it ain't Grover Whalen.
Good evening.
Well, Sergeant Hamilton J. Finger, as I live and don't breathe.
Don't bother to shut the door.
You leaving? I wanted to see you.
We're leaving. I wanted to see you. Hello.
To the Place Gendarme?
The same.
You mind if I ask you why?
Not at all. You read?
Not fluently.
You look at pictures?
Fluently.
You seen the newspapers?
I seen the green sheet in the Morning Telegraph.
According to the evening papers, a woman named Gloria Verne was found murdered. Shot through the heart. Here's a picture in the paper.
So?
So she was found in a place on Barbary Street, number 14, according to the journals, apartment 2B. You familiar with this place?
I spent half the morning laying on my face.
So I recall.
So?
So the lieutenant invites you to the Irish clubhouse for tiffin and mixed grilling.
Shall we promenade?
Be my guest.
I spend the next few hours being pounded on the eardrum by the Inquisition Squad. I tell them everything I know, including about the gun which Laura Chandler has at home.
You say she thought she killed this woman, but the gun wasn't fired.
The barrel was stuffed with rust.
She has this cannon?
She had it when I left her this morning.
And she dropped $5,000 to an old blind woman without even feeling sorry?
I told you, Sarge, this is a nice girl. She didn't kill Gloria Verne.
Nice girls don't go on drunks with Greenwich Village con artists.
So she made a mistake.
Maybe you made the mistake, Rocky. Come on.
Where now?
Laura Chandler's apartment. I want to gaze into her cold blue eyes. Also her cold blue automatic.
We prowl up to Park Avenue and press the buzzer of Laura Chandler's apartment.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, I brought a friend along for you, baby. Sergeant Finger of Homicide. This is Eve Hobson, Miss Chandler's secretary.
Pleased, I'm sure. Is your employer home?
She's asleep. She wasn't feeling well, so she took some sleeping pills.
She been asleep all day?
As far as I know, I went out on business for about an hour.
Wake her up.
Not without a pretty good reason.
Murder is a pretty good reason.
Murder?
Get her.
Ian, who is it? Oh, hello, Rocky.
Miss Chandler?
Yes?
Sleeping pills don't work so good, I see. They never do much for a guilty conscience.
I beg your pardon.
This is Sergeant Finger, Laura. Homicide.
Homicide?
You've heard of it, I see.
I don't understand.
I'll be brief. You're under arrest.
Under arrest?
You recognize this picture in the paper?
Laura, don't say a word.
No use, Rocky. It was nice of you to pretend I didn't kill her, but it's her picture. That's the woman I shot.
Laura, for Pete's sake, you didn't
And
do
you
it.
got the gun?
Yes, I left it in my desk drawer. Here.
That gun hasn't been fired for years, I tell you.
Let's have a look. Okay, Miss Chandler, get your coat.
Filled with rust, huh?
Rocky, the barrel of this gun is as clean as the inside of a hospital cafeteria, and judging by the smell, it's been fired recently.
What? Let me... Holy smokes. Laura, did you use this gun?
I left it in the desk drawer.
You been asleep all afternoon?
Yes, I took some sleeping pills.
Okay, Miss Chandler.
Hold it, Sergeant.
Well,
And they got some kind of a test to prove if a party fired a gun?
a paraffin test.
If Laura fired a blank, could you tell?
It's the same as if she fired a real bullet.
In other words, anybody who fired a gun, it shows up, huh?
That's right.
Rocky, it's no use.
Let me handle it, baby.
You can get 10 years in the Cast Iron Academy for shielding a murderer, Rocky.
Let me talk a minute, will you?
Talk.
How long has this Gloria Verne been dead?
The medical examiner says about 4 hours.
4 hours? Oh, no, I killed her last night.
Hold it, honey. Laura, tell me, could anybody have taken that gun out of your drawer, gone downtown, shot the dame, and then put the gun back?
Who would have done anything like that, and why?
I don't know, but I got a good idea.
Go ahead, Fortune.
Well, let me paint the picture. Somebody stages a fake murder to make Laura think she killed Miss Verne. Somebody gets $5,000 in return for the murder weapon and disposing of the body. And then I fumble my way into the frame and spot it for a fake. Maybe I call the police. So somebody takes the gun and kills Miss Verne for real.
Okay. Who done it?
Eve Hobson.
What? Sergeant, the boy is delirious.
You're the only one who could have taken that gun. Gone out, shot Miss Verne, and replaced it, baby.
Rocky, it's a little preposterous. Eve has been with me for years.
If it's so preposterous, then how about little Eve here taking a paraffin test to see if she's fired a gun recently?
Don't be ridiculous.
And while we're at it, honey, How's the pencil selling business?
Pencil selling business? No, I know he's mad.
You do a pretty convincing old blind woman, except for one thing. You were selling artist pencils with a special soft lead, the kind your boss uses for making her fashion sketches. Here's the one she sold me, Sarge.
Miss Hobson, do you object to a paraffin test?
Not in the slightest. I'll get my coat.
Okay.
If that dame didn't do it, then my name is... Look out! She's got the window open! Grab her, Sarge!
Okay, miss. Take it easy. Take it easy. Maybe you won't.
Wow. Is that enough for you, Sergeant?
Yeah, that's enough. Let's go, miss.
Do you want me?
Just stay where we can reach you. You too, Rocky. Let's go, Miss Hobson.
Well,
Well,
you got any more messages to be delivered, lady?
only one.
What's that?
This. I like your messenger service, mister.
Laura,
Yes, Rocky.
next time, don't send for a boy. This is a man's work. Yeah.
NBC has presented Frank Sinatra as that footloose, fancy-free, and frequently unemployed young gentleman, Rocky Fortune. Tonight's cast included Marion Richmond, Georgia Ellis, Bill Justine, Parley Bear, and Ted Von Eltz. Tonight's script was written by George Lefferts, and Andrew C. Love directed. Eddie King speaking. Now, to tell you about next week's adventure, here's Frank Sinatra as Rocky Fortune.
Did I ever tell you about the bebop musician who dropped me into a hotel shaft and said, "Man, dig that crazy grave"? He meant mine. Tell you about it next week. See you around.
Let's visit with Fibber McGee and Molly tonight on the NBC Radio Network. Frank Sinatra, transcribed as Rocky Fortune. NBC presents Frank Sinatra as that footloose and fancy-free young gentleman, Rocky Fortune.
Hi. When I was a kid, a couple of maiden aunts made me practice the bull fiddle to strengthen my character. It didn't do much for my character because I hocked the fiddle and ran away from home. Every once in a while, though, I got a chance to pick up a couple of bucks playing with a small combo at a Polish wedding or a bar mitzvah. The last job I had was neither. It was more of a funeral, my own. Yeah?
Hey, Dad, I want to speak to Rocky Fortune.
You got him.
Rock! This is Bugsy. Bugsy Barton.
Well, hi, you jazz boy. Where you been?
Me and the cats have bounced a little flea bag called the Hotel Zanzibar. You dig that place?
I've been there. How's America's greatest bebop horn?
Gaining altitude, man. Gaining altitude.
Getting tall, huh?
Yeah, real high. You all looking for a little gainful employment?
You mean music?
Dad, I don't mean bricklaying.
Bugs, I ain't played the bass for 5 years. Also, my instrument is with Uncle. I hocked it for train fare.
Man, that don't signify. We'll scuffle up a bass for you.
How much and where?
The Zanzibar, $15 in the pad for the night.
See you in a half hour.
Solid, solid. Plant you now and dig you later.
Whatever happened to that line? I invest a subway token, and 20 minutes later, I am in the jungle room of the Hotel Zanzibar, which is a cheap 3-story flea bag on Bleakman Street. On the bandstand is Bugsy Barton and his 5 barrels of bop. Bugsy is a musician's musician, and the boys are playing strictly from Memphis. After the set, Bugsy comes over and sits down with me. This boy's 5 feet wide across the chest, and he doesn't know from his own strength.
Rock, boy. Give me some skin, man.
Easy, Bugs. You're breaking up the metacarpals. What's up?
My bass player's on the sauce. I need somebody to take his place tonight.
Well, I ain't much of a bass player, Bugs.
Well, that don't matter, man. All you got to do is stand up there and wallop the Wurlitzer. I just want to cover the boy to keep the hotel manager from blowing his top.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Where's the fiddle?
You go up to Johnny's room, 212. Get his fiddle and come on down.
Johnny?
Johnny Lament, man, the best double bass you ever laid an eardrum on.
Yeah, of course. He used to play with Goodman, didn't he?
Oh, this Johnny's been all over town, Rock. Man, when he's sober, he can play all over that instrument. Hits every register but the cash register.
What's wrong?
Girl trouble. Used to have a little thrush called Evie Johnson. She and Johnny had a falling out, and he'd taken it pretty hard. Come on, man, you better hustle. We're on in 10 minutes.
I hop the self-service elevator up to 2 and look for room 212. It ain't very hard because it's the only room with a built-in trombone player.
Yes?
This Johnny Lament's room, baby?
What do you want?
I'm Rocky Fortune. I'm sitting in for Johnny till he comes in for a landing, which won't be soon by the looks of him.
You still haven't said what you want.
Oh, pardon me. I need the fiddle.
Don't you have your own instrument?
Honey, don't give me a bad time. I need the fiddle.
Come in.
Thanks.
Hello, Sonny? Who's that?
Take it easy, Johnny.
Evie. Evie, you come back, huh? Is that you, Evie?
Oh, this kid's for Bellevue.
Evie.
Johnny, go back to sleep.
Put some more music on, baby. Play me something sad. If you see my baby, you send her home to me. If you see my baby, you send her home to me. Tell my baby I'm sad as I can be. Who's that cat?
Name's Rocky Fortune, Johnny. I'm sitting in with Bugsy and the boys tonight, and I need your fiddle.
Sure, man. Anything you say, man. You want a drink, man? Dolores, honey, give this righteous cat a little drink.
Thanks. I don't touch it, John.
Say, man, you see my Evie anyplace around? See the little chick about so high with the softest blonde hair? You seen her, man?
Afraid not, Johnny.
The fiddle's in the closet, Rocky.
Thanks, baby. I didn't catch her name.
I didn't throw it. It's Dolores Kane. I'm Bugsy's new singer.
Pleased to meet you. Hey,
Yes?
what's the gun on the shelf for?
Oh, it's Johnny's. Don't worry. I already threw the bullets out the window.
Clever girl.
Thank you.
And pretty, too.
Thank you. And don't forget the bass fiddle.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Come in.
It's 11:10, Miss Kane.
Oh, write down, Mr. Quaid.
In case no one has informed you, Miss Kane, I pay you and Mr. Barton to put on a show in my club at 10:30. It is now 11:10.
I'm sorry, Mr. Quaid. We were just...
I can see what you were just. Is this drunken Paganini going to perform tonight?
Well, Johnny isn't feeling so good, Mr. Quaid, but Mr. Fortune here is going to take his place.
Fortune? I don't believe I've ever heard of him.
Rocky Fortune? Why, he's one of the greatest bass players in the business.
I'm paying for the greatest.
Rocky, tell Mr. Quaid how you and Dixie had him screaming for mercy at Les Jazz Hot in Paris last year.
Well, I don't want to brag, baby.
Oh, go on.
Well, you see, we was playing the dog watch from 12 to 4. And sudden like Dixie gets off on Japanese Sandman. Everybody said Dix was losing his lip, but that night he was blowing up a storm. I'm just playing along when up he comes, boogity, boogity, open horn, and every note looked like it was greased and stuffed. Pretty soon the cats were jumping and pandemonium breaks loose. French bankers were tearing their clothes off. You know, it took 150 gendarmes to calm the joint down.
That's very interesting, Mr. Fortune, but the next show is due to start in 3 minutes, if you don't mind.
Me? I don't mind. See you later, Johnny.
Anything you say, man. You see my Evie down there, you tell her Johnny says come back here. You tell her I heard Johnny's been to Weep City for her and he wants her back.
I shoulder the fiddle down to the jungle room just as Bugsy and the boys get off on Sweet Lorraine. We start off playing what the French call in time. We call it in the closet. After a while, the joint starts jumping, and for the next 5 hours, I slap that bass until the gut turns black and blue. Also, my hand. Half the time, I'm in 2 different keys, but nobody cares. And the fans figure I'm another Eddie Safransky, because I'm playing notes that don't even exist. About 4 in the a.m., the whole deal builds to a crescendo till I think the top of my head's going to fly off. And then suddenly, we're playing 16 bars of Goodnight, Sweetheart, and it's all over. I think.
Okay, cut. That does it. Thanks, Rock.
Well, how did it go, pal?
I tell you, sweet and groovy like a 90-cent movie, man.
Yeah, what happens now?
You want to play again tomorrow? We got a room for you on the 3rd floor if you need a pad for the night.
$15?
15.
You got it.
Solid. Here's a key.
Say, how's Johnny Lament?
Oh, still on his hip.
He's taking this thing kind of hard, isn't he? What happened to him?
Him and Evie had a big thing. Tonight she walked out, bag and baggage.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, that's dames for you. Invest heavy and come out light. See you in the a.m.
You'll pardon the expression, but what time?
The boys stop seeing double about 11. We rehearse at 12.
I lug the bull fiddle up to the 3rd floor and head for my room. I don't get very far, however, because halfway down the hall I hear something which ain't music. Hey, what's going on in there? Open up! Open up!
No.
Take it easy, baby. Wait a minute, just a minute. What's wrong here?
In the bedroom.
Before I have a look, would you mind putting down the knife?
Knife. I didn't even
Unless
know.
that's ketchup on it, baby. Maybe you better tell me what's in that room.
It isn't possible.
It never is. Pardon me while I take a look. Don't go away. I sprint for the bedroom, get the door halfway open, and I stop. There on the bed is the body of a beautiful little blonde. And one look tells it all. Some cats killed the canary. All right, Dolores, let's have it.
It can't be.
Come on, baby. What happened here?
I finished singing my last number, and I had a drink at the bar. It made me sleepy, and I came up to the room and passed out. I woke up a minute ago. Eve was lying on the bed, and this knife was in my hand. Rocky, I didn't kill her. Honest, I didn't.
No, just take it easy. If you didn't, who did?
I don't know. I swear to you, it happened just the way I said. When I saw her, I screamed, and then...
Take it easy. Look, open your eyes.
What?
I said open your eyes. Look at me. Okay.
Well, what was that for?
Just checking, honey. Somebody slipped you a Mickey. Your pupils are contracted.
It was the drink. I know it.
You know why anybody would want to frame you for Eve Johnson's murder?
Well, why should anyone?
Somebody did, baby. Now, come on, we got to work fast. Whoever did this has probably phoned the gendarmes already.
What can we do?
I don't know. At 4 a.m., you... Wait a minute, listen. You go out and press the elevator button.
What are you going to do?
Get rid of the body. Now, get moving. Dolores holds the elevator while I carry Eve's body in. Then I tell her to hold the button until I can hustle down to the 1st floor. I hit the lobby just as my good friend, Detective Sergeant Hamilton J. Finger of Homicide, comes on like Buster's gang.
Pardon me, Sam.
Yes?
Homicide. We got a tip on a body in room 310.
Oh, there must be some mistake, Sergeant.
Well, my old cellmate Hamilton Finger.
I might have known. Is this one of your practical jokes, Fortune?
I don't know from what you're talking, Sarge.
Step over the elevator with me. We'll go upstairs, Rocky.
Anything you say. Look, what brings you here?
I ain't sure, but I think it's a corpse.
I jab the elevator button and we wait for the car. My pumper is playing footsie with my Adam's apple as the car comes down. And the door is open. And I nearly drop dead. The car is as empty as Ebbets Field in December. We ride up to room 310, which belongs to Dolores Kane. Hey, Sarge, what's it all about?
You'll find out.
Yes?
Open up, baby. Homicide.
Sergeant Finger, Miss Kane.
You've met.
Dolores sings for Bugsy. I've been sitting in. That's musicians' talk.
You mind if I look around?
Help yourself. You mind if I ask you what you're looking for?
We got a phone call, said there was a dead woman in this room.
That isn't very flattering.
What's in there?
Take a look.
Empty.
I think somebody's been pulling your legs, Sergeant.
Both of them.
Where's the bedspread?
In the hamper.
Excuse me. I suppose this is nail polish.
How did you know?
Yogi. Mind if I take it down to the lab for analysis?
If you'll have it laundered.
Okay, what's in the closet?
Oh, that's a small dragon named Lancelot. Careful he doesn't bite you.
Funny.
Boo.
Okay, I'll have the bedspread analyzed for bloodstains. Now, don't go away, either one of you.
We wouldn't think of it. Nighty-night, Sarge.
And no more practical jokes, you understand?
What did you do with it?
What?
The body.
It's in the elevator.
Not anymore, it ain't.
What do you mean?
It never made the 1st floor. The car was empty.
That's impossible.
Eve Johnson's body didn't walk out of that car, baby. Somebody lifted it.
Well, that means somebody must have stopped the car on the 2nd floor.
Correct. The next question is, who would want to steal a corpse?
What'll we do?
Well, Finger's going to find bloodstains on that spread. And when he does, he'll be back with some ticklish questions. And I got a hunch we better have the answers. Let's move. We start a room-to-room canvass of the 2nd floor. Dolores takes one card and I take the other. Result? A big fat goose egg. I finish my card and go look for Dolores. She's gone, but from the sound of voices, I figure she stopped off to see how Johnny Lament is making out. I started to go in, but I changed my mind.
Johnny, cut it out.
She's dead, ain't she? My little Evie's dead.
Oh, don't be crazy.
I ain't crazy, baby. Not anymore.
What makes you think she's dead?
I could see it in your eyes when I asked you about it.
Would it matter so much? She walked out on you, didn't she?
She'd come back if she was okay. I know Evie. Come on, Dolores. What happened to her?
How should I know?
You know, baby. You said you was gonna kill her.
You're out of your head.
She told me. She says, Johnny boy, Dolores is jealous of you, and she says if I don't stop seeing you, she'll kill me.
It's not true.
Come on, baby. I know you. We were married once, you and me, remember? Now, let's have it. What'd you do to Eve?
Nothing.
That don't wash, baby. That just don't wash.
Johnny, stay away.
You're gonna tell me, honey. Where's Evie? What'd you do to her?
Johnny, you're crazy drunk. Now get away.
You're gonna talk?
Johnny! No! Johnny!
Talk!
No!
All right, hold it, John.
Get out of here.
Knock it off. You all right, baby? Not that I really care.
I'm all right.
Sit down, Jazzbo.
This your new boyfriend, baby? 'Cause I don't like his face, and I think I changed.
Sit down.
Johnny!
He's all right. I ought to belt him, and I ought to clip you, too.
I don't understand.
I heard it, baby. I got big ears. You didn't bother to tell me you were married to Johnny Lament, and you didn't bother to tell me you and Eve had a slight falling out.
I wanted you to help me. I was afraid.
You wanted a patsy, baby, and you got one. Only you're about to lose him, because Rocky Boy's going to walk away from all this right down the nearest police station.
Rocky, no.
All that bilge about how you were framed and me with my open mind. I got a hole in my head.
Rocky, it's not true.
Yeah, well, tell Dick, the fun-loving Rover boy, when he comes to, I'll leave his fiddle in the band room. So long, baby. And the next time you want a corpse moved, call the Seven Santini brothers. I don't belong to the right union. I put it up to my room as mad as a centipede with a hot foot and lugged the big bass fiddle down to the band room, which is right across the hall from Johnny Lament's room. The empty fiddle case is standing in the corner. I start to lay it down flat, and it weighs about a ton. And even before it slips out of my hands, I know why. Holy smokes.
Okay, flyboy. Get him up. High.
So you're the guy who was all busted up about losing his best girl.
Back against the wall.
A real nice guy. Kills his doll and tries to hang it on his ex-wife. You're a doll, Buster.
She found out I was pushing dope and threatened to go to the cops. I had to kill her.
Why, you crummy dope peddler. It's misfits like you to give honest musicians a bad name.
Don't run your mouth at me, Fortune. If you'd have kept out of it, you'd be all right.
You're going to have a tough time trying to get rid of two corpses, John boy. A fiddle case only holds one.
I'll worry about that. Turn around.
Sure, pal. Anything you say. Only before I do, there's one thing I think you ought to know.
Yeah?
Dolores took the bullets out of your gun. Hello. Hello.
Yes, please?
Who is this?
The manager. What is it, please?
Listen, Quaid, this is Rocky Fortune. I'm up in the band room, 215. Now listen, Eve Johnson's body's up here in a bass fiddle case. And I got the cat that killed her. And get the cops and make it fast.
You say you've got the man who stabbed her?
Stretched out like a herring.
That's just fine, Fortune. Stay right there. I'll call the police.
Make it fast. I hear somebody coming now.
Don't worry. You'll be taken care of.
It takes about 2 seconds before lightning strikes. How did Quaid know she was stabbed, and how did he know it was a man? Suddenly, little wheels start to spin around in my noodle. Quaid is in on it. Sure he is. He's probably supplying Johnny Lament with the stuff. And what's more, he's undoubtedly on his way up here right now. I start to pick up Johnny Lament's .45 and remind myself that Dolores Kane has removed the bullets. A hand turns the doorknob, but it can't be Quaid so soon. I just pray that one of the cats has come to get his instrument. The door opens. I freeze.
Hey, Dad. Put the thing down. You gone goony?
Bugsy. Brother, am I glad to see you.
Put down the heater, man. What's going on in here?
Take a look in that fiddle case.
Holy smokes. Eve.
Yeah, here's the little boy who did it.
Johnny?
Admitted it. I had to flatten him.
Well, you did real good.
Not good enough. Listen, Bugs. The manager's on his way up here right now, and unless I miss my guess, He's got heavy artillery.
Oh, Quaid? Is he in on this?
He is now. I got to get out of here.
What you gonna do?
I got a sudden brainstorm. Look, help me get Eve Johnson's body out of this case. Come on, pal. Get with it. Come on.
Okay. Yeah. Where to?
In the closet.
Yeah.
Attaboy. Now dump Laughing Boy into the bass drum.
Right. Now, open the door. Yeah.
Look, you think you can lift that case with me in it?
Are you kidding?
Attaboy, muscle man. Here goes.
All right, what you want me to do?
Now, look, you just walk out like you're on your way to a jam session.
Uh-huh.
Once I get past Quaid and his artillery, I'm all right.
Okay. Now, watch your hand. Here goes. How you doing?
Cut the lip dribble and get going before I get blue. The fiddle case fits me like a fatal disease, but I squinch down and hold my breath, and I figure maybe we'll make it. Bugsy Boy picks me up like I weigh in at 3 pounds just as the door opens.
All right, Fortune, get your...
Hi, Mr. Quaid.
Oh, it's you.
You was expecting somebody else?
I was expecting Fortune. Did he get away?
Fortune? Oh, you mean the bass player?
You know who I mean, Muscle Brain. Did he get out?
You know me better than that, boss. I got Rocky Fortune right here. Inside the fiddle case.
So there I am. Smart? Ha! They don't come any smarter than old Rocco Fortunato, Jack. It never occurred to me that this hotel might be operating a narcotics dodge and that my pal Bugsy might be in on it. But I'm real tricky, I am. Yes, sirree. I outwit the crook by crawling into a bass fiddle case and letting him snap the catch on me. And there I hang like a cured ham, waiting to be boiled in hot fat.
What do we do with him, boss?
Let me out of here, you punk!
Get him out of here.
Why don't we just drop him down the air shaft? It'll look like an accident.
Don't be a jerk. Take him down to the river.
Anything you say, boss. Hey, Fortune, shut up. My, what a temper this cat has got.
Come on, Bugsy. Don't waste any... Who's that?
Search me.
Open up.
Who is it?
Police.
Just a moment. Drop him out the window.
Right.
Open up. So long, sucker.
Okay, open the door.
What's going on here?
I'd like to know, officer. We came in and found this musician knocked out on the floor.
Where's Fortune?
Fortune? I haven't seen him. Have you, Bugsy?
Fortune? Oh, not a hide, nor a hair either.
Well, I know he came in here to return the fiddle.
He must have left then. Maybe he's in his room.
Yeah. He might have been here, but he left.
Come on, miss. We'll go up to his room.
Something wrong, officer?
Yeah. Fortune's wanted as an accessory to murder.
Hold it.
Oh, no.
Rocky, what are you doing out there?
You won't believe this, Sergeant, but I just climbed out of a fiddle case. These hoodlums dropped me out of the window onto a fire escape 1 flight down.
What?
He's obviously crazy, probably drunk.
If I'm crazy, brother, then how about opening that closet door? Because I've had a hallucination that Eve Johnson's body's inside.
I'd like to oblige, Fortune, but you see, I've got other plans.
Grab him.
Hold it, buddy. All right, don't move, either one of you.
I'm standing still.
Open the closet, Rocky.
That enough for you, Sergeant?
Yeah. It'll do for the time being. All right, let's go, you two. Keep an eye on Dreamboat there.
Sure will. If he comes to, I'll belt him with a fiddle.
Let's go.
Boy,
Are you all right, Rocky?
if I can ever straighten up, I'll be fine. What happened up here?
Well, the sergeant came back when he found out those were bloodstains, and I told him the whole story. We came down to look for you, and, well, I guess you know the rest.
Uh-huh.
You sure you're all right, Rocky?
I'm fine, baby, but I was just thinking.
What?
What they would have said if that fire escape hadn't have been there.
What would they have said?
Man, dig that crazy bass fiddle.
NBC has presented Frank Sinatra as that footloose, fancy-free, and frequently unemployed young gentleman, Rocky Fortune. Tonight's cast included Jack Crucian, Gene Tatum, Tom Holland, Frank Gerstle, and Barney Phillips. Tonight's script was written by George Lefferts, and Andrew C. Love directed. This is Eddie King speaking. Now, to tell you about next week's adventure, here's Frank Sinatra as Rocky Fortune.
Did I ever tell you about the Broadway actress who was involved in the murder of a drama critic? And when I asked her for her autograph, she gave it to me with a .45. Tell you about it next week. See you around.
Visit with Fibber, McGee, and Molly tonight on the NBC Radio Network.
Now, Frank Sinatra, transcribed as Rocky Fortune. NBC presents Frank Sinatra, starring as that footloose and fancy-free young gentleman, Rocky Fortune.
I hear it said on good authority that a rolling stone gathers no moss. In my case, it is not only moss that I don't gather, but something else which is green, namely loot, with which to buy the little things that make life worth living, like food. I am therefore always available for employment, and when the agency sends me up to the Knickerbocker magazine, I am very happy to accept their $48.50 a week, less withholding. Excuse me, lady, in which of these glass brick kennels do I find Mr. Walter Partridge?
Just open your ears and head for the biggest noise. That's our Walter.
I'm telling you, Burke, I want those reviews on time.
See what I mean?
Thanks.
For 2 weeks in a row, I've had the business office after me for missing deadlines. I'm not in business for my health, which is lousy. What do you want?
Mr. Partridge?
It says Partridge on the door. My cufflinks are initial WP, and I've got Dear Walter tattooed on my right bicep. Yes, I am Mr. Partridge.
Okay.
Who are you?
Rocky Fortune. The agency sent me over.
Oh, yes.
Well, what do I do?
Do you see this sad, broken-down, pseudo-intellectual here?
Now, Walter, you're taking unfair advantage of
This
me.
miserable object is Burke Whittemore, the drama critic of the Knickerbocker magazine. His reviews are followed with bated breath by middle-aged women from Hohokus to Great Neck. There's only one trouble. He has not seen a play in the last 3 years.
But if he doesn't go to plays, how does he review him?
Oh, he goes. He occupies an aisle seat in the 5th row. He's there in body, but unfortunately, the spirit has been applied internally.
Ah, come on, Walter. Isn't it fitting to pour libations to Dionysius before attending his temple?
I'm not worried about Dionysius. I am concerned about the libations being poured into Burke Whittemore. You get the picture, Mr. Fortune?
He's on the sauce.
That's the general idea.
My dear man, paralyzed drunk, I can type a better column with my elbow than any other drama critic in the metropolitan area.
Just once, I'd like to see what you can do while sober. All right, now, Fortune, you understand your job.
Look, Mr. Partridge, I am a great connoisseur of the theater arts. I have sat under the runway of Old Howard in Boston and similar high-tone resorts in Union City, New Jersey. But if you're looking for a drama critic, I think you better get yourself a new boy.
Don't be ridiculous, Fortune. I've got a drama critic. What I want is someone who can keep him from falling on his face.
Oh.
All right, now, here's your job. There's a new play opening tonight, Trolley in the Sky by St. John Maloney. Now, you're to stick with Whittemore from now until curtain time. Just keep him sober and don't let him fall asleep in the show. Your seat will be directly behind his on the aisle. And if he starts to show any signs of drooping, give him a good stiff poke in the back of the neck.
Now, see here, Walter.
You think you can manage that, Fortune?
Don't worry, Mr. Partridge. He won't even wink. I got a real dandy rabbit punch. I developed it punching rabbits. I am now remembering that this Burke Whittemore is the fellow known on Broadway as the Kiss of Death. He has not written a review with a kind word in it since Helen Hayes was playing kid parts with bloomers showing. But now he's a rum-dum, senior grade, and I'm hired to make an honest man of him. We head back to Whittemore's office where the job of protecting him from his various follies starts even sooner than I think.
But you can't go in there.
Get away from that door.
Won't you come in, Maloney?
I knew I'd find you hiding in here, Whittemore.
Be careful how you swing that cane.
All right, Maloney, what's the idea of breaking the glass in my door?
Your glass isn't the only thing I'm going to break. Are you planning to cover my opening tonight?
With a shroud.
Whittemore, I'm warning you. I will not create a sensitive, important, searching drama and have a warped Nibelung tear it to shreds with his pointed teeth. After you reviewed my last play, it ran exactly 2 performances.
A long run for that play. How did it do on the road?
Listen, you snake. If you vent your malevolent spleen on my new one tonight, so help me, I'll kill you. In fact, I don't think I'll even
Hey,
wait.
put down that cane. Now, a Malacca cane with a silver head is not as heavy as a bulldozer or as high-powered as a 6-inch shell. when laid neatly back of the ear, it'll serve. I fold up in a tasteful knot and droop gracefully to the Axminster. Having delivered his ultimatum, St. John Maloney turns on his heel, which happens to be on my stomach at the time, and strides out of the office.
Fortune, you all right?
Oh, what happened to me?
We tried to brain me with his cane and caught you on the backswing. That's the trouble with these modern playwrights. No sense of direction.
I believe you.
Of course, we'll have to do something about that lump on your head.
Shall I call a doctor, Mr. Whittemore?
Oh, nonsense. We'll just cover it up with a hat. Fortune, do you happen to possess a Hamburg?
Are you clowning?
Well, then we'll buy you one on the way to the theater. Now, come on along.
Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Ain't you even going to call the cops?
What for?
Didn't you hear Maloney? He said he was going to kill you.
There isn't a playwright worth his salt on Broadway who hasn't threatened to kill me. Come along, Fortune. Thespis awaits.
Mr. Whittemore, wait. What about your mail? It's been piling up on your desk for days.
Good. Pile it alphabetically and burn it, Alice. Bills, nothing but bills.
But, Mr. Whittemore... Oh, dear. Mr. Fortune, would you take these letters along and try to get him to read them, please?
Okay. Here's one that doesn't smell like a bill. Lavender envelope.
Fortune.
Huh? Oh, coming, Mr. Whittemore. So I slip the letters in my pocket and away we go. First he insists on buying me a Hamburg hat, and then we head toward the theater. We get there about 40 minutes late. Burke Whittemore collapses in an aisle seat in the first row while I am right behind him in the second. A pint-sized blonde named Valerie Carter is emoting all over the stage, but I'm too busy to pay much attention. Already, Burke Whittemore is beginning to slide down in his seat.
Were I yet another, yet were I another's other, yet were I yet
Hey,
your other.
Mr. Whittemore, wake up.
Take me, for I am no other than your own, else were I another.
Okay, pal, I warned you.
Oh, hey, Fortune. Did you have to do that?
Cheer up, Mr. Whittemore. Something might happen. Who knows? Her dress might slip. In the first intermission, we struggled through a lobby the size of a phone booth, which is occupied by a cloud of smoke and a few thousand people. Whittemore runs up against a sad little man who looks as if his last friend just bit him. This is Judson Flanagan, the producer.
A great show tonight, Burke, eh? St. John has written a modern masterpiece in verse.
That third-rate carpenter couldn't write a testimonial for an underarm deodorant.
Very witty, Burke.
Hey, do you like it? I'm using it in my review.
Are you writing them in advance now? You've only seen 10 minutes of the play.
My dear man, you tried out in New Haven. A gentle wind wafted the aroma straight into my office.
Listen, Burke, seriously, you've got to be fair. I've got my own money in this show.
You must be mad.
But, Burke, you can't pen it. You just can't. Look, I've done everything I could to please you. I've even starred your favorite actress.
Valerie Carter? She was my favorite actress. You should have given the part to Lassie. This thing is really a dog.
Burke, I'm desperate. If you cut this show to ribbons, I'll kill you.
We leave Flanagan and fight our way down the aisle. Just as we reach our seats, the house lights go down and the stage is dark, too, and as nobody is seated yet, we all kick each other around for a while. Just as I get myself firmly planted, somebody falls in my lap.
Oh, excuse me, monsieur, but you are in my seat.
Excuse me, lady, but you're in my lap.
Oh, no, this is seat D1.
This is B1, lady.
Oh.
But stick around. It's a great seat.
Oh, no, I could not. Pardon me,
She's a small, tight brunette wearing a veil and a mink and smelling of something at $50 an ounce. All in all, she appears to be some dish from where I'm sitting, which at the time is right under her. However, cherchez la femme, I always say. At this point, I notice Burke Whittemore is starting to slide again. I reach over and give him the old rigid digit in the back of the neck. Hey, Mr. Whittemore. Hey, wake up. Come on.
Stella, where art thou? You whose else becomes more present than absent.
Mr. Whittemore, wake up, pal.
Would that you were not another's other, so that I could seek and find you where you are.
I'm telling you, Mr. Whittemore, you gotta wake up. Evidently, I have more power on my index finger than I give myself credit for. Whittemore slides out of his seat and rolls into the aisle. I am down beside him, but it doesn't take me long to head up the aisle to the front of the house, where I flag down Judson Flanagan, the producer.
Shh! This is the reconciliation scene.
It better be the reincarnation scene, pal. Come on outside. I got a flash for you.
Huh?
Whittemore is stiff in the aisle.
Again? Fortune, you help me get him out. We'll get him some black coffee and bring him to.
It'll take more than coffee, Flanagan. He's got a knife buried in his back.
Ted? That's impossible.
Improbable, maybe. But nothing's impossible these days, so you better call the cops.
We can't call the police now. It's only the second act.
Look, Mr. Flanagan, I know it may seem like bad theater, coming so early in the play, I mean, but there's a corpse in the center aisle. Aren't you even interested?
Of course, of course. We'll have to get him out of there before intermission.
I guess I ain't getting through. Burke Whittemore is dead. D-E-D. Look, give me some change and I'll call him myself. Where's the phone?
Right behind you.
Oh. Yeah, where's the change?
Here you... Ow!
Turning my back on Flanagan was like playing Potsy in the Holland Tunnel. He let me have it right on the cowlick with about 2.5 tons of small change in a bag. I figure if I stay on this job much longer, they'll refer to me as Melonhead Fortune, because I'm beginning to feel distinctly squashy behind the ears. When I come to, I'm on the floor of a small closet with my head sharing a bucket with a slightly damp mop. I stagger to my feet and commence banging on the door. Let me out of here. Let me out of here. I got a right to make one telephone. I want my lawyer.
Well, Rocky Fortune, what are you doing in there?
Sergeant Finger of Homicide as I live and breathe.
What are you doing in this closet?
Look, Sarge, a guy got croaked tonight. A drama critic by the name of Burke Whittemore.
How come you know?
Because I was sitting in the seat right behind him.
Huh? What were you doing there?
I was acting as his bodyguard.
Oh, that's a hot one.
I knew that'd break you up. Look, the guy was a lush. His magazine hired me to keep him on the wagon.
He's on the wagon, all right, only now it's a hearse. So you were sitting right behind him when it happened, huh?
Yeah, I was.
And he got the knife right in the back. It's very interesting.
Now, wait a minute.
Why'd you do it, Fortune?
You know something, Sarge? You are a pilgrim in the path of least resistance.
What do you mean by that?
You always pin the rap on the nearest suspect. It saves you so much time.
Why not? You had the perfect opportunity, Rocky.
Sure, but why would I want to do it? You need a motive, Sarge, a motive.
You're right. Why did you do it?
Oh, nuts. Look, why you pick on me?
You got any better suspects, Rocco?
How about the guy who wrote this turkey tonight? How about it, Maloney? Didn't you threaten to kill Whittemore if he panned your play?
Certainly I did. I'm only sorry that someone beat me to it.
How do we know that someone did?
I wasn't even in the theater when it happened. I can't stand the strain of opening nights. I was in the little bar across the street.
We'll check on that. Okay, Rocky, who else?
The producer, Flanagan. He had a fight with Whittemore at intermission time, just before it happened, Sarge.
That doesn't mean a thing. I never left the front of the theater.
Says who?
Ask my box office man. I was checking receipts with him from the time the second act curtain went up until Fortune came running up the aisle.
Well, now that leaves us right back where we started. Only one suspect, and Rocky, guess who?
Now, take it easy, Finger. Not so fast. Almost anybody in the theater could have done it. The lights were down. All they had to do was walk down the aisle in the dark and... Wait a minute. The brunette.
The who?
The brunette who sat in my lap.
What are you doing, dreaming again?
No, honest, Sarge. She thought I was sitting in her seat. We had a friendly tussle about it, and then it turned out she was looking for D1 instead of B.
When did all this happen?
Right after the start of Act 2, just before Whittemore rolled out in the aisle. Maybe you better chercher la femme.
Where did you say she was sitting?
D1.
Well, that's impossible. D1 is a house seat, reserved for critics on opening night.
But I'm positive she... Look, we had an argument about the seat.
Anybody hear the argument? How about you, Miss Carter? Any of the actors notice a commotion down front?
Well, no. But, of course, we were all concentrating on our performances.
Fortune, why don't you quit trying to feed me all these wild stories?
Look, I could prove I was hired as Whittemore's bodyguard. Let me call the magazine, will you? Walter Partridge, the publisher. He'll back me up on it.
Okay, then, Fortune, get Partridge over and tell him to fly. Because if he don't, you're going to be my pigeon on toast.
By this time, Fingers made the whole thing sound so crazy, even I am beginning to wonder if there really was a brunette in my lap. Still, this is no time to give up. I feed a dime into the backstage pay station and inform Knickerbocker magazine that they have just lost one drama critic. Furthermore, that unless they wish to lose me, too, they'd better send Partridge over in the wing. As I hang up the phone, I find Valerie Carter waiting in a dressing gown that is made of old butterfly wings.
Mr. Fortune.
Yeah.
Mr. Fortune, could you step into my dressing room just a moment? I'd like to talk to you.
So would Sergeant Finger, and he may be getting impatient.
Well?
Well, he ain't got the strange attraction you have. Let the bum wait.
Won't you sit down?
Thanks.
Do you mind if I sit next to you?
It's your couch, honey.
Mr. Fortune, I don't exactly know how to explain this.
You lost something lately?
How did you know?
Well, I didn't think you were looking for sugar just now when I felt that hand in my pocket.
Oh, well, then I suppose I'd better come right out with it.
Yes.
It's a letter.
Oh? A letter to Mr. Whittemore, you mean?
Yes.
Maybe the lavender one with the perfume.
Yes, may I have it?
Why?
Well, you see, Burke, that is, Mr. Whittemore and I were good friends for years.
I'm glad to know he had one friend.
In fact, we were even engaged to be married. But we had a silly little quarrel, and he said that he was going to criticize my performance tonight.
Yeah?
Well, naturally, I got very angry. So I wrote this letter and I sent it off. And then I regretted it, of course, and I called his secretary to try and intercept it.
And that's how you know I had it on me.
Yes. You will give it back to me.
You mind if I open the letter first?
Oh, no, please don't. It's so foolish, really, and it has nothing to do with what happened in the theater tonight.
How do I know that?
Well, Mr. Fortune, do I look like a brunette?
Well, no.
And after all, it happened right in the middle of the play. So, may I have the letter, please?
Nope.
Well, I thought you were a gentleman, Mr. Fortune.
Gentlemen are usually dopes. When Finger finds out who the murderer is, you'll get the letter back unopened.
Took you long enough to make that phone call, Fortune.
Take it easy, Sarge. Mr. Partridge is on his way over now, and he'll put me in the clear.
Yeah? It's going to take more than that.
What do you mean?
Fortune, you're in this up to your flapping ears. I've been checking out alibis, and both Flanagan and Maloney are clean. I guess who that leaves.
Name somebody. What about the brunette?
You know, it's strange. Nobody seems to have saw her but you. And a man was sitting in seat D1. Rocky, why don't you save the state the cost of a trial and confess, huh? Maybe I can get you off light with the electric chair.
I tell you, Finger,
Move
you
it.
are out of your...
Hello.
Mr. Partridge, I am so glad to see you, my boy. Will you tell this guy who I am?
I don't know who you are.
What? Now, wait a minute. Didn't you hire me today to look after Burke Whittemore?
Yes, I did.
And what do you mean by that crack, I don't know who you are?
Apparently, I should have asked for character references first. I hired you to protect Mr. Whittemore, not to let him get stabbed in the back.
All right, Rocky boy, let's go down to the station.
Before you go, Fortune, I'll take Whittemore's mail.
How did you know I had it?
Why, hand it over, Fortune.
Not so fast. Funny thing, you're the second person to ask about that. Why is everybody so anxious to get their mitts on Whittemore's mail? Wouldn't be the lavender letter, would it?
Mr. Fortune.
What lavender letter?
This one, Sarge. Valerie Carter sent it to Whittemore today. Who knows? We might even find a motive inside.
Mr. Fortune, that is not your letter. You have no right.
Sarge, listen to this. Dear Burke, it's no use you're trying to hold me with threats. It's all over between us, and nothing you can say will change my mind. I'm in love with another man, and I advise you not to cross him, Burke. He isn't the kind to let anything stand in his way.
Who's the other man?
Let me read it, will you?
No, you don't. I'll take that.
Here, give me that letter.
Hey, Partridge, what's the big idea?
Grab him, Finger. He's our boy. Before anyone can lay a glove on him, Partridge is across the stage and starting up the iron ladder to the catwalk. Sergeant Finger runs to beat, so I'm the first one up the ladder after him. When I hit the catwalk overhead, he's already touching a match to the letter.
Stay away from me, Fortune!
Unless you can fly, you're a gone goose, buddy. This catwalk has got a dead end.
Stay away!
I'm coming to get you.
Oh, you...
Look out, Partridge, you're going over. Partridge!
Fortune, help me. My hands are slipping. Fortune, I can't hold on.
Did you stab Whittemore, did you?
Yes, I did.
Louder.
I did it. I killed him. Now help me.
You hear that, Finger?
I heard it. My hands, I'm slipping.
All right, Partridge, catch. Alley-oop.
I haul Partridge back up on the catwalk and frog march him down to Sergeant Finger.
I could have been killed. Fortune, you're crazy.
All right, Sergeant. You got the confession?
I repudiate it. He was threatening my life. That confession will never stand up in the court.
Well, maybe not, Mr. Partridge, but now that I got the man and the motive, I got a hunch we ain't gonna need it. There'll be other ways we can pin it on you.
Walter, I can't.
Hey, Rocky.
What?
You think the dame is mixed up in it, too?
Miss Carter? Nah. If she'd have known Partridge was going to bump him off, sending that letter was the most stupid thing she could do.
Yeah, I guess that's so. Okay, Partridge, let's fly downtown and find you a cage.
So, once again, I am a free man, meaning a man without a job. And all I have to show for it is a new pearl gray Homburg. Miss Carter,
Yes?
about that letter, I'm really sorry. You see, I was on the spot.
Oh, if only I hadn't written that awful letter, that's all.
Look, it's been a kind of rough evening, and you look a little beat. Would you like me to see you home?
Oh, no. I don't want to put you to any trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble. Just wait till I grab my hat here. B1, B... It's funny, no hat. It must have fallen under the seat.
Oh, well, do you see it now?
Yeah, Ow!
What's the matter?
Something stuck me. A bobby pin. Now, how did that get under my seat?
Well, what's so remarkable about that?
Yeah, nothing but bald-headed critics sitting in this row. No dames except maybe the brunette who sat in my lap. Only why would a brunette be dropping blonde bobby pins around?
She wouldn't. I think you just made that brunette up.
I think maybe she made herself up with a brunette wig.
But who'd want to do a thing like that?
Well, it couldn't have been you. You were on stage.
That's right.
Come to think of it, though, were you there all the time? What about the start of the second act?
No, I wasn't. Any other questions?
Miss Carter, you don't happen to smoke a pipe.
No, I don't.
Then that's a gun in my ribs.
It is?
You did it, not Partridge. You sneaked around
If you mean that I killed Burke Whittemore, yes.
And why did Partridge take the rap?
Because he's in love with me.
He must be.
Don't worry. He'll come out all right. He can prove he was somewhere else tonight.
I wish I could say the same.
All right, now. Start walking.
Where?
The stage door, Mr. Fortune.
Yeah, that was pretty clever. Only don't you think you did this thing the hard way? Why didn't you just marry Partridge and tell Whittemore to go whistle up a tree?
I couldn't. Burke threatened me.
With what? Bad review?
With deportation. I'm in this country illegally, Mr. Fortune. Burke threatened to turn me in if I tried to leave him.
Oh, I see. Well, here's the stage door. What now?
Open it.
You got something definite in mind?
I have. They'll find you lying in the alley.
Won't be the first time.
Well, it'll be the last. Open that door.
Okay, here goes.
Miss Carter, I'm glad I caught you. I got a question.
Finger, watch out.
Hey, what goes?
Finger, I could kiss your lovely, stupid mug.
What for?
I'd be a dead duck if you hadn't figured this thing out.
Figure what out?
That you had the wrong man, of course. This dame was about to knock me over.
Miss Carter? You mean she committed the murder?
What else? Ain't that why you came back?
No, I came back to get her autograph.
Autograph?
Yeah, my kids are nuts about the theater.
Oh, brother.
NBC has presented Frank Sinatra as that footloose and fancy-free young gentleman, Rocky Fortune. Others in tonight's cast included Elaine Ross, Leslie Wood, Stotts Cotsworth, Arnold Moss, James Monks, Roger DeKoven, and Bill Zuckert. Tonight's script was written by Ernest Kenoy. Fred Wade directed. Now to tell you about next week's adventure, here's Frank Sinatra as Rocky Fortune.
Next time, I get a job dusting plaster statues in a two-bit art shop. Only it turns out somebody figures to dust me off. For good. Naturally, there's a blonde, and she ain't no plaster statue. You can take it from me. I'll see you around. Bye.
This is the NBC Radio Network.